Hi everybody, this is Edouard Piccoli, your teacher, and on this video we're going to make a review about learning strategies. Yeah, that's a picture of me in the United States and one of the office here at Los Andes University. Great. As we studied this month, in this module number 1, the main objective was to reflect upon how you can benefit from understanding various learning tactics and, most importantly, applying them to your process of learning English. But on this video, as I said previously, we're going to make a review of those concepts in order for you to expand or enhance your vocabulary and be ready for the free speaking section of the exam. So let's get started. We have always wondered what learning strategies might be. Well, Professor Rebecca Oxford in 1991 quoted this term, learning strategies, and she provided, this is Professor Rebecca Oxford. By the way, she's working at Alabama University in the United States right now, and she has been always an expert on this aspect about learning strategies. The most important elements that you need to take into account in this definition are the ones highlighted in red. However, I'm going to read it so that we can all remember appropriately the definition. In general terms, learning strategies are specific actions taken by the learner to make learning easier, faster, more enjoyable, more self-directed, more effective, and more transferable to new situations. Oh, remember, this is the book, the cover of the book, where you can find information, and there is a copy, several copies here at ML building in the main library. Well, this is the general definition for this topic, but how about going category by category? Oh, I forgot to mention something. The learning strategies belong to or are also known as procedural knowledge, or as we said in class, the memories for the performance of particular types of action. Remember, we discussed this on the first day of class, and when we shared the results of your SEAL survey in the discussion. So, what are some procedural knowledge? Well, or your memories from particular actions? Well, brush your teeth, use a pencil, ride on a bike, speaking, breathing, all of those are procedural knowledge. So Professor Rebecca Oxford said, well, how can we categorize this information to narrow down all these types of strategies? Well, she came up with an idea of setting them up in 6 main groups or categories. We have memory, cognitive, compensation, metacognitive, and social. Let's go with the first one. So when we talk about memory strategies, they are, so you see here the phonetic transcription, they are memory. Basically, they are used for storing and retrieving new information. Some of them are grouping, using imagery, semantic mapping, and using keywords. As you can see in this presentation and on this video, I'm using one of these memory strategies. I'm using imagery, so I'm trying to help you recall this information later by using several images that are connected to the memory or to the human memory, as you can see this photograph here or these images on your brain. That is one example. The second category has to do with cognitive strategies. In general terms, they are applied for understanding and producing language. For example, this category we have recognizing and using formulas and patterns, practicing naturalistically, analyzing contrastively, and highlighting. Recognizing and using formulas and patterns, remember that this is what we practice when we studied the consonant sounds and the different categories in which they are classified. So we have the stops, the fricative, affricate at the very beginning of the bimester. And practicing naturalistically, well, this is basically what we do all the time in class when you work in pairs or in different groups, or when we work on the different sketch notes and presentations that we have worked so far. Next category is compensation, and we have talked a lot about it, and the definition that is provided here is that they are used for dealing with limited proficiency in the target language. Some examples are getting help, guessing intelligently, and using circumlocution or synonyms. A typical example of this is like, teacher, how do you say, or I mean, or whenever you're in class and you're telling me like, teacher, how do you call this movement? Or how do you say this in English? That's compensation. Next category has to do with metacognitive, and these are the ones that I highly encourage you to work more on, and I hope that you work more on after we finish the course. They are used for coordinating mental processes. For instance, we have organizing, setting goals and objectives, and seeking practice opportunities. On the first day of class and all the time, I'm telling you to find opportunities to speak in English. Well, the class is one opportunity for you to do that. And that is why I'm always like very tricky and picky on telling you like, hey, don't speak Spanish. Remember, this is an English class. Finally, not finally, but we have another category, and this has to do with affective strategies. As you can see here, sometimes the brain doesn't get along with the heart and vice versa. They are used for regulating emotions and attitudes. So we have some examples: lowering your anxiety, encouraging yourself, and listening to your body. Remember that this is something that we always say, like whenever you have to perform a presentation in front of the class, I always say like, take it easy, relax, breathe. That is one example of lowering your anxiety. And in my case, as I've always shared with you, I try to listen to a song before getting into the classroom. And this is true, don't make fun because this is true. To lower my anxiety before we get into the subject matter. Or I also say a lot of jokes, and you know, I have like a little crazy cookie way of going on the classes. So that's why I always am making fun. So this helps me to lower my anxiety. Finally, we have the social strategies. As the name indicates, they are used for learning and working with others. And namely, asking for corrections, cooperating with others, and developing cultural understanding. From all of these, the example would be cooperating with others. This is what we have worked on when you compare your homework, or you ask your partners, your classmates, to peer evaluate your recordings in the voice threads in class. All in all, of course, all of these strategies, sometimes we're not conscious or as human beings or aware about how to use them, but definitely I ask you to continue working on them and not forget them, because they're going to help you in your learning, not only here at Los Angeles University or in your academic life, but in your professional life and personal life as well. So do not ever give up and keep on working hard, and I'll see you on the day of the exam. Have a great one.